Adolescence is a roller coaster. One moment you're on top of the world, and the next you're feeling overwhelmed. Between school pressure, friendship, social media, and self-discovery, it's easy to feel lost. If you're a teen, if you're a parent to a teen, this video is for you. Today we'll explore the biggest mental health challenges young people face and how to navigate them with confidence. You're a certified therapist, and this is my hairy co-host, Fluffy. Welcome back to the channel where we explore mental health, self-awareness, and personal growth. If you're joining us for the first time, consider subscribing and joining our community. Why is this topic important? It's important because the teenage years are crucial for mental health, yet most young people suffer in silence. Did you know that in Kenya, 1 out of 4 people experience mental health issues? Yet mental health is still a taboo topic in many Kenyan households. Stick around to the end of this video for a free toolkit with practical exercises for teen and parents. Let us start by discussing some of the common mental health challenges that teens go through. Challenge number 1, anxiety and stress. Some of the anxiety and stress comes from pressure to perform academically, social anxiety and peer pressure, fear of the future in terms of career, finances, and independence. Mental health challenge number 2, depression and loneliness. Most young people or teenage, as they go through the motions of growing up, end up feeling isolated even when surrounded by people. They lose interest in activities very fast. They experience emotional numbness or extreme sadness. Number 3, identity and self-esteem struggles. Identity and self-esteem issues from a teenage perspective might come from body image issues, gender and sexual identity exploration, and struggling with self-worth, especially coming from African households where we are taught, or most of us have learned, that negativity is the way to correct bad behavior in children growing up. This might make them end up not feeling self-worth from home and extends to society at large. That's number 3. Number 4, social media and comparison culture. In this day and age of social media, there's a lot of unrealistic beauty trends and success standards being set out there, and they might end up making the teenagers feel like they are not worth it, or they haven't achieved as much as somebody else, and end up doing the whole comparison and feeling underachieved in comparison. There's cyberbullying and online toxicity. That's also because of the age of social media. That's where a lot of interactions happen, and bullying has transformed from physical to cyberbullying. The other thing we can talk about when we are looking at comparison culture is the constant need for validation in our teens, where they've grown up in the social media space, wanting and needing the likes and the comments, and that is how their self-worth, their validation, that is where it has come from. So if they end up not being as validated as they need, they end up feeling less worth of who they are. And that in itself ends up being a mental health challenge. According to Erik Erikson's stages of psychosocial development, explains that adolescent, and in his explanation, adolescent is a range between 12 years to 18 years, is a time of identity versus role confusion. This is the stage in life where a human being goes through figuring out who they are and where they belong. That's why they end up picking up things and letting go very easily, because they are still trying to identify who they are and where they belong within a society. Let's move on to how to cope and build resilience within the teenage. We'll discuss 5 different ways how we can do this. Number 1 is develop emotional awareness. We can develop emotional awareness during the teenage by naming the emotion instead of just ignoring it. This helps to process the emotion better. Name it. If it is sadness, if it is anger, if it is joy, name the emotion so as to be able to explore and go through it in a more productive way. Another way to develop emotional awareness is journaling and talking to someone. Talking to someone really helps. Writing your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions down helps you to process them, and all this helps you build your emotional awareness to a place where you can go through your emotions on a steady and more understanding point of view. Number 2, build healthy coping mechanisms. Instead of bottling up our emotions and our feelings and letting them fester inside us, we can explore healthier ways of coping with these emotions. And some of these healthy ways mean exercise, dancing. I always say moving your body is very healthy. Deep breathing exercises. As I said in a previous video, we used to do this in primary and high school. I don't know if they still do it during physical education, where you breathe in and out using your whole body. Music and other creative ways can be a very good outlet to build healthy coping mechanisms. Number 3, set boundaries, especially online. Limit screen time to protect your mental health. Have a duration of time where you are on screen and a duration of time when you're off screen. And by on screen and off screen, I mean phones, TVs, tablets, any kind of screen, especially when you're doing short form stuff or you're on social media. The other thing is to curate your media so as to follow positive and uplifting accounts. That was number 3. Moving on to number 4, create a social support. A social support is people who surround you, who you can talk to about your personal things, and people with whom your relationship is used to build each other up and not tear each other down. So how do you create a support system? Seek guidance from mentors, from teachers, and from counselors, and listen to it. Do not be resistant to what they are telling you. They have been through your age before and they know one or two things. Talk to them openly about what you would like and question what they tell you so as to make an informed decision. Also talk to trusted family and friends for guidance. That was number 4. Number 5 is seek professional help when needed. Therapy isn't only for crisis, it's for growth. Normalize talking about mental health with a professional, with your parents, with your siblings, and with the people that matter in your life. In so doing, you help yourself in creating and curating your own support system. To conclude, let's recap a bit of what we have discussed during the video. Teens face unique mental health challenges. Coping strategies like self-awareness, setting boundaries, and having a good support system are very crucial with teens. Seeking help is a strength and not a weakness. I will encourage you, you're not alone. Things do get better, so keep going. You're doing good. Drop a comment and let us know what's the one thing that helped you cope, helped you manage your stress during your teenage years. And as we said in the beginning, there's a free downloadable toolkit with a stress management guide, self-esteem exercises, and some digital detoxing tips. The toolkit content includes daily mood tracker, which helps you to recognize the feelings and emotional patterns you've been going through, healthy coping strategy list, which is the alternative to unhealthy habits, and finally a social media detox guide, which goes to protecting mental health online. With that, we've come to the end of the video. From my co-host and I, it's bye YouTube. Ciao YouTube, see you next time.